back again finally. Haven't been able to do one of these for a while. I've been very busy lately. In fact, I almost forgot about doing them. I'm like, well, I better put a video up on YouTube or else I'll get taken out of the algorithms and all that, and I don't even know how all that shit works, but kind of decided to grow the beard out a little bit. I don't care if it makes me look like an old man. It's cold outside and I need some more shit to cover my face. So, my most liked but also disliked and most disagreed with video I've ever done on here was a video of why I think WWE is kind of sucking now. And I still do watch the product. And I recently went to WWE Starrcade. I was going to do a review of that and just didn't get around to it. My buddy Matt and I went. It was a fantastic show where there was no bullshit storylines or anything. The matches were really good. And there was a guy working the main event that I actually used to call matches for 10 years ago, so I kind of know him. I won't say who. Dean Ambrose. And it was kind of like, wow. I remember when this guy was broke and I called his matches and now he's a millionaire and I'm still nobody. Life sucks. Anyway, I have a feeling this video will probably get almost as much hatred as that one. Because it's simply things that I think are just okay. Yeah, things that I don't hate, but I don't love, but they're okay. And the reason I'm doing this video is it's about things that people either absolutely fucking love or things that people just absolutely detest. So I'm going to start off with a big one here that I'm sure people are going to be ready to just, you son of a bitch. The Nightmare Before Christmas is just okay. There, I said it. That's just my opinion. I think it's fine. I can think of 8 Tim Burton films I prefer to watch over it. I thought Corpse Bride was a better film. I know Coraline, Burton had something to do with it, or I might be mixing those two up in my head. I thought that was a better film. I'd rather watch Beetlejuice. I'd rather watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'd rather watch Big Eyes. I'd rather watch the first Alice in Wonderland movie. Not the second one. But I don't hate Nightmare Before Christmas, and I know that there's plenty of people out there who love that movie. I know there's people watching this right now, and hey, I get why you love it. But I know there's a lot of people out there, and this happens with a lot of things that become popular, who like the movie, but just really love collecting the merchandise. And there's nothing wrong with that. I am not one to judge on that. Because if you saw the wall that I'm staring at, not the one behind me, there's tons of shit I have up there that's just for collection. I got Star Wars, wrestling, Batman figures. I got all that shit up everywhere. I mean, there's Pokemon stuff up behind me. It's more my wife's, but hey, you know, to each their own. So to each their own. If you really love Nightmare Before Christmas, awesome. I think it's just alright. I mean, it's not bad at all. I enjoy the songs, but I never understood... Well, I can't say I never understood, but I never felt the same way that the diehards feel. And that same thing goes for another super popular film that, especially, this film became popular again when I was a teenager, and that's A Clockwork Orange. The first time I saw it, you know, I fell in love with the whole idea of it, and Malcolm McDowell is still one of my favorite actors of all time. But when I rewatch the movie when I get older, it's not as good. It doesn't hold up as much as I remember it holding up. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very well acted, very well shot, very well written film. I do like it. I would watch it again, but I don't think it's as great as some other people make it out to be. Like I said, I do like the movie. I do. The acting is really good, but it's not... I don't think it's the masterpiece that it's been presented to us to be, especially my generation. I'm going to be 39 years old in a couple of months. And that when I was in the mid-90s, man, Clockwork Orange was like the movie to watch. They were re-screening it everywhere. I mean, like, there were some theaters that would solely at night show Rocky Horror Picture Show that sometimes changed their showings to Clockwork Orange because that movie got so popular again. And I understood why. There was a lot of relevant things in that movie. But now that I'm older and I rewatch it, I'm like, it's alright, it is good, but I don't think it's great. I know I probably get, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with you? How could you? No, it's to each their own. There are movies that I despise. I really hated the movie Maleficent, and I'll explain why another time. Somebody told me it was because it was a feminine thing, which I think is fucking ridiculous, because I loved Lady Bird, and in no way, shape, or form does that movie speak to me. I thought it was great. Wonder Woman, which is a female empowerment film, was my top 4 film from when the year it came out. Loved that movie. So it's not because of that, I just did not like the movie. But there are people out there, that's their favorite movie. And hey, that's all you. Now, on the flip side of that, a movie that people hated critics just destroyed it. And a friend of mine that worked at a GameSwap in Tri-County Mall, I don't even know if that store's still there. I haven't been able to go there in a long time. A friend of mine named Paul, if you watch these, Paul, what's up? I remember coming in there and we were talking about Man of Steel, about how I've talked about that enough on here. I'm not going to go into that one, about how we both really liked it, even though the critics hated it. And he's like, "Oh, what'd you think of The Lone Ranger?" I was like, "Oh man, it was so shit on. I don't know if I really want to watch it." He kept he's like a couple times in a row, he's like, "No, it's a much better film than they're saying it is." So when it came out on video, that's when I wasn't seeing everything in the theaters like I do now. Actually, I haven't been to the theater in a couple weeks, but I'm going this week to see Once Upon a Deadpool. So we bought it and watched it, and I was like, you know what? This isn't that bad. Yes, you could have cut 30 minutes out of that film, and it would have been the same fucking movie. In the middle of the second act of that film drags like a motherfucker. The first act and the third act, to me, are very solid. And that end scene with the train scene, if you haven't seen the movie, watch it solely for that. When the two trains are going next to each other and they have the fight on the trains, I love that. You could tell the same guy who made the first couple Pirates of the Caribbean films had something to do with this movie, because it very much felt like that style. I liked Lone Ranger. I didn't love it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't get bothered. Johnny Depp can annoy you sometimes with his performances. I wasn't bothered by his Tonto like everybody else was, and I thought Armie Hammer was very solid as a Lone Ranger. I love that dude. If you've never seen that remake of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with him and Henry Cavill in it, watch that. That movie is fucking fantastic. I really like Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer is a wonderful actor, and I thought he did great in that movie. And I like Helena Bonham Carter, like, a lot. Like I've often said, my favorite character in all of the Harry Potter films is Bellatrix Lestrange. Her performance in that, to me, is one of the best performances on film ever. And I mean that, ever. And I thought she was, even though it was a small role, I thought she was great. So I never quite understood. I mean, well, and it's one of those movies, I can't say that. It's one of those movies that I watch, and I go, okay, it does run on too long. This movie doesn't speak to everybody. Not everybody's going to get into this movie. I get why people didn't like it. But I did. Now, I know I think titled this Things Are Just Okay, but I'm running low on time here. I don't want to make this too long. And I want to mention one more movie that I actually think is very good, but it gets dumped on by critics. And that was Men in Black 2. There are critics who love the first one and love the third one, which I do. Love them. Love them. The more I watch Men in Black 3, the more I like it. I don't care what that end scene, even though it's derivative, it's predictable. I love the end of that movie. I think it's very heartwarming. And if they never make another Men in Black film, I thought that was a perfect way to end that series. Which they are making a spin-off, which has got Chris Hemsworth and all kinds of other fucking cool people in it. I'm actually really looking forward to this Men in Black spin-off we're about to get. But Men in Black 2 gets dumped on. I mean, you see TV shows. Family Guy has made fun of it. South Park has made fun of it. Other shows like, oh, not as bad as Men in Black 2. That was just a cash grab. And I think that Rick and Morty made that comment. Now, plot-wise, no, the movie's not that great. Doesn't hold up to either of the other two. But as far as the comedy is concerned, I laugh my ass off every time I watch Men in Black 2. So those jokes, like when he's first getting Agent K back into things, and he's like, the deneuralizer does this, and that, and he's just like, huh, what's that? And he's like, that's the deneuralizer, and he just his frustration with Tommy Lee Jones is so funny to me. So that's one I have to say I don't get why it gets the hate that it does. I thought while it wasn't a movie can be a not great movie, but still be very funny, like Grandma's Boy. I mean, plot-wise, it's kind of like, whatever, it's kind of dumb, but it's funny. And sometimes that can be enough. If a movie's just stupid funny, like Hot Tub Time Machine, I never wanted to see because I thought it was something, and my friend Matt just recommended it to me, and I finally watched it. It's one of my, in fact, I'll say it, in the last 10 years, I would put it in the top 5 best comedies of the last 10 years, easily. I didn't care for the sequel. Sequel had moments in it that were very funny, but it wasn't that good. But sometimes a movie can just be funny. And that's what I think about Men in Black 2. So, if you want to comment, I know I'll probably get hated for Nightmare Before Christmas. I just thought it was fitting to mention that now. Now, my next video is going to be another Unpopular Opinions one. And it's going to be about, and I need to do a little research on this one, because I don't want to say anything inaccurate, and I don't want to offend anybody. It's going to be another Unpopular Opinions, and it's going to be about how things sometimes just change. and it's going to be about why people have gotten so, all of a sudden people are offended by Baby It's Cold Outside. I'm not going to go into it here now, but I'm going to go into why I never really cared for that song, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's a little rapey. But as far as that's concerned, I'll go into that thoroughly on the next video. So that's it for now. Hopefully next week I will see a movie. I'm either going to see Once Upon a Deadpool. I mean, there's Once Upon a Deadpool, Mortal Engines, and Into the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales Spider-Man animated film. All three I want to see, so I might try to work all of those in the next 2 weeks. I don't know. Jeremy, I know you're broke. Come see Once Upon a Deadpool with me. I'll buy your ticket. See you later.